We rolled up to the campsite, ready to do some camping. It was mid-July, peak summertime, and in case you're wondering, it took so long to make this video because I had to make a 3D model of our campsite in Blender. I'm also just slow. Just kidding. It's still only made from 2D triangles. Every time I go on a vacation trip thing, I experience a new extreme. For example, my last trip I experienced the most ass-splitting constipation I've ever had before. This time it was mind-numbing pain. Nice sunburn. I got so sunburned that I couldn't walk. I thought it was fine sitting under the shade, under a tree, but the sun is a deadly laser that penetrates the trees with ease. So just freaking me, right? Here, I have a note written down from day 4 or 5, so I'll let my past self explain it. I don't know anymore. It burns. My entire body burns. Everything. The cool breeze even. My shoulders are beginning to blister and arms down to my forearm is swollen. The one good thing is my head is no longer swollen and jello-y. Here's another note from another day. I peeled my skin like a potato today. Actually, more like an orange, since I only used my fingers, unlike a potato peel which needs a knife. Unless we're talking cooked potatoes, then yeah, almost exactly like peeling a potato. I also happen to make 3 ASMR skin peeling videos, but for a lack of time, I'm not going to include them. I probably increased my chance of skin cancer more than I feel safe admitting, and these weird spots on my shoulders should probably be checked out sometime, but you know, out of sight, out of mind. And then the script says in asterisks, covers them with shirt sleeve. Oh wait, I'm not supposed to read. In order of operation, the first to sunburn was my head, second was my neck and shoulders, and third was my knees. All spread out between several days, so in total I was sunburned for like 20 days. I just couldn't get a break, going from pants to shorter shorts, and from sleeves to sleeveless sleeves. There was always a new patch of skin to get burned. My legs were by far the worst sunburn out of all of them. I got the sunburn on my legs from sitting in the sun, in the shade of course, while sitting and trying to relax throughout the day, all while the burning sensation on my legs gradually started getting worse. I figured it was just the previous sunburn getting a bit irritated in the wind, or maybe it was just healing. I mean, sunburns do itch a bit when healing, right? Little did I know I was getting a fresh new sunburn on my previous sunburn. That's right, baby, my sunburn had a sunburn. By the end of the day, my legs were involuntarily twitching with pain and I was incapable of bipedal transportation for the next 2 days. After the sunburn on my legs, they were perpetually covered in jelly, which was fun. My legs got pretty dark, but whenever I sat down, my upper legs would get exposed, and so I had this Neapolitan ice cream effect going on, where my knee is dark, thigh is pink from fresh sunburn, and upper thigh is white. Oh wait, sorry, I only use monotone colors, so you can't really see the Neapolitan effect. So yeah, I got sunburned a lot, including in places you wouldn't even guess. I shaved my head for this trip. That's the joke, because you probably thought I had hair during it. I mean, I have hair now, I grew back, but camping without hair? Come on, I'm dying. I did actually shave my head a day before going, so I didn't have hair to wash, but that meant my scalp was exposed. Almost as exposed as you are when you're browsing the internet. I'm joking, I don't have a VPN sponsor yet. Please someone sponsor me. Also, side note, a few days after shaving my hair, it's hard to convey just how much it resembles sandpaper. Like, we had these baby wipes to wipe ourselves down with, and it would freaking shred the thing, which I guess is reflective of my abrasive personality and sharp intellect. A few days in, my head was cracking like a painted wall from the 60s, which honestly was so satisfying. My hair was short enough I could reach in and peel off my scalp, and oh man, the bigger the skin chunks, the more satisfying the peel. It's just like peeling the plastic off a new product, except, oh baby, that new product is me. We ended up experiencing a few extremes in terms of weather. It was peak summer, so, you know, it was very hot for just about the entire expedition. We also inadvertently chose one of the top 5 windiest parts of the United States to camp, which was kind of annoying. We didn't even bring a kite or anything to make use of the wind. We just lived in it, which kind of blows. The first week, there was even a tornado a few miles away, which, not gonna lie, gave us the spooks, and it really blew more. Anyway, We just huddled in the car and hoped for the best. Oh, and a few weeks later, we actually talked to a neighbor camper that spoke of a story of a couple stopping at a rest stop when a tornado was coming. And so they sought shelter in their car, and the tornado threw their car, and their car rolled over and over and over again, until it was about the size of a refrigerator in the shape of a crinkled up soda can with two mangled bodies inside. Was it a family? Yep. Oh, that blows. The bathroom experience was interesting. This was the first time I dug a hole and pooped in it. Now, if you know me, you know I'm an avid hole digger. From a young age, I dug several tunnels that I could actually fit inside of and crawl through. But that's another story for another time. Back to excreting inside of holes. It was pretty difficult, the whole of it. Digging a whole thing. Country dirt is just built different, and it's way more difficult to dig up compared to the sandy soil I was used to as a kid. This meant if I had to go poop, there was at least 10 minutes of manual labor required to dig a hole beforehand. I guess you could say our campsite became holy ground. I was also the designated hole digger for the rest of my family, but they were honestly the best kinds of people for this, because they pooped minimally. At least my siblings did. I'm still not sure how they got away with that. Anyway, can I have a show of hands of who all's pooped like this? Okay, thank you. You can put your hands down now. Supposedly this is the way we're designed to poop, because it helps relax your pelvic floor muscles and thus lets it more easily slide out. This was the first time I've been able to get down in a heel squat to poop. I was pretty excited to try it. Like, yeah man, pooping like my ancestors. But my hopes were shattered and I still kind of found it difficult to poop. The one redeeming quality of the squat poop was that it's perfect for seated wipers like me. It spread the cheeks in such a way to make cleanup very nice. With them pulled apart like that, it gave me confidence that my cleaning would be deep and thorough. And that's always something I can appreciate. Anyway, we talked about what happens after you eat. Now let's talk about what happens before you eat. I ended up getting a pan specifically for this trip to cook meals on, and admittedly, I was very excited about this pan. In case you don't know me, I'm not pansexual, but I am a personal cook in person, so I took this as an opportunity to expand my kitchen toolbox and acquire a carbon steel pan. The idea was minimal cleanup, and with carbon steel and cast iron, you don't necessarily have to use soap and water to clean them out. It's actually recommended by some not to use soap on them because it might strip away the seasoning. This meant, however, that I had to season the pan. And if you're wondering how I did this in nature, I have one word for you. Foraging. I'm just kidding. You don't season a pan with herbs, spices, and everything nice. Seasoning a pan is the process of polymerizing, aka burning, thin layers of oil onto the pan's surface. This creates a thin film on the pan's surface, protecting it from rust and helping so your food doesn't stick. For cooking, we also had a little camping stove we used as a burner. It was originally meant for hot tent camping in winter, but we used it by itself so we could have a little stove surface and so ashes don't end up in our food from the fire. Anytime I would do ground beef in it, all the meat juices would seep out of the beef chunks and conglomerate at the bottom of the pan, where it would strip away some of the seasoning. Probably because meat juice is acidic. So that really sucked. In my effort to minimize cleaning, I had to go through the seasoning process anytime we did ground beef. It handled grilled cheese, pancakes, and toast all perfectly though. So after more than a month of touching grass, was it worth it? And to that I say, it depends. Anyways, I couldn't call myself a YouTuber without exploiting my personal experiences for fame and views. So thanks for watching. Goodbye.